Welcome back, everybody. I have done a few things in between episodes to get us prepared. First of all, I sealed up the base, made it so that nobody can leave and except through the Atmosuit dock entrance. Added in some more um, Atmosuits. We only have 5 people in the colony, but we may increase that. So I figured we'll future-proof it. I'm going to increase the gas flow. This is my flow of oxygen from the main base. I'm going to increase it to maximum just to get these suits filled up. I moved a bunch of things around and got it all cleaned up. This is the water pool we had up there before I did all the changes. It's just getting pumped out down into here. I also added another one over here, pumping out this little pool here. So it's all getting sorted, all getting taken care of. These pools are starting to fill up, so we're going to need to start doing something with them. I also started building up the cool slush geyser here, and that's pumping out. So I am going to turn this to above 500, just like I had the other one, which means it won't fill out till it fills up here, and then eventually I'll put a top on this, but for now I was just letting it go. We still have to do the same for the cool salt one, but I don't have anywhere to put the salt water yet, so we're just going to let that sit where it is for now. We've got everything else working just fine. We got a few minor changes made to make it so that the pumps wouldn't run. Like this pump here, I set automation to make it so it doesn't run until the liquid fills up. Then it runs for 60 seconds to empty it back down. Just simple little touches added on to make things work better. Today we are going to work on temperature control because we have an area that's too cold over here. This area is too hot. So we need a way to control temperature, and I'm going to design a new way to do that. I think I had kind of have it worked out in my head, but we're going to build it up here, see how it works. Instead of using just normal cooling loops where the cooling loop goes through the aqua tuner, my thought is that I will have the aqua tuner feed heat out through some steel doors into some chilled liquid areas, and then I can run pipes through it. So I think it'll give me more precise temperature control. Haven't tried it yet, so we're going to be figuring it out together. And hopefully it'll work, and if not, we will come up with something new. But first thing I'm going to do is get an area here cleared out so that I have space to work on it, because I think I'm going to put it right over here in this area. So we're going to let our duplicates take care of doing that, and I'll come back once I have the basics of it set up, and we'll get started. Built my creation, and I am testing it for the first time. It's going to take a little while to fire up, but I'll explain what's going on here. So I have an ethanol cooling loop, which means I can bring it down. Ethanol. Let's see. Let's look up ethanol so I can see it. Chose to use ethanol because ethanol can cool down to minus 114. I don't need it to go that cool, but it can go to minus 114. It can also go up to 78.4, where it turns into a gas. You don't want that bad. But what we're doing here is we have a loop going through, cooling down to minus 30. that loop is then going through this aqua tuner. So if it's over minus 30, it cools it down further. Then goes into this pool of ethanol here, which it's slowly cooling down. So for now, our goal is to get this pool down to minus 30. Then I have doors here, and I just set up 3 of them just to test it. So each of these is set at a different temperature. This one's at minus 10. So this will leave this door closed until the temperature in this little pool here becomes minus 10. This one's minus 15, this one's minus 20. So my thinking is that if we can cool this pool down to minus 30, then this pool will cool down to minus 10, and then the door will open, and so it'll stay at minus 10. So we can have 3 different controlled temperature ranges. Then we can adjust these as we need to. And I have loops in there that I connect up, and I can send a loop out to, let's say I want to do a loop through the crops here to make it a specific temperature, and then I want to send another loop into the base to make it a different temperature, and I want to send another loop over here to make it a different temperature. I can do 3 off of just this one setup. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to let it run. We're going to see. This is going to be cooling for a while, so this will heat up the steam. Steam will turn into power, and then the water just gets dumped back in, and the loop repeats, just like we've been doing with all of our cooling. So I have that connected up to our main grid, and I have power being drawn in for the aqua tuner off the main grid also. So this is going to take a while, this cooling to happen. Though we're down to almost 0 already, so but my thinking behind doing it this way was that we can cool off a small pool much easier. We can then dump the heat into these small pools just with these tiny little sections, and we'll be able to much more precisely control the temperature of loops that we send through it, because this we can make an exact temperature. This door will open and close at the exact temperature, so we could control our temperatures much better than we could with the other loops. Assuming that this works, and I can get it to work consistently, this is going to be my new go-to cooling system. So we will be installing it on the other asteroid as well. But I got to test it here and see if it works. I didn't hook any cooling loops up to it to add any more variables into it. For now, I just want to see if I can get these little ice boxes down to really low temperatures. I don't know if ethanol's best choice for what to use, but that's what I had on hand that could go down to the temperatures I wanted to test. Polluted water, I don't think could go that cold. Water can only go down to minus 0.6, and polluted water was the other option I had. It can go to minus 20, but I want to do minus 30. Just because I want to be able to do the box in the middle even cooler. I could probably do just ethanol here and then do polluted water out on the edges, but I think ethanol will work fine. Already down to minus 2. So what we want to see is once this gets down to minus 10, is it going to kick open this door? So I'll come back once we've done a little testing and we can see what the results are. Putting the ethanol in the central pool down to minus 20, and that heat's being, or the chill I should say, is being shifted over to this. So I'm back because we're about to hit the point where this door should open, causing this pool to stay at minus 10. So I just wanted to see if it's going to do that. Very, very close. I did set up a cooling loop on the bottom one, trying to get it to 20, so I actually threw in a space heater to heat up the area so I could heat the pipe up. And there we go. So this sensor hit minus 10, door closed, so this should stay At minus 10, pipe doesn't have anything in it yet, but the ethanol is right at minus 10. So then if we had a loop going through there and it heated this water back up, this would close again to pull out some chill. So what we're going to do is I have this set at minus 95, which should be fine. The ethanol should keep running just fine. Running out of power. Why am I running out of power? Oh. Looks like I think I need to do some work down there, but... Oh, this is overheated. Oh, because I made them out of... that was dumb of me. So, with the cooling loop here, what I did was I just have a loop going down here. I want it to be 20 degrees. And so I'm running it through here, but this was already cooler than that, so I just put a little radiant section here next to the space heater, heating the area up so it'll heat that water slowly in there. There's a lot of better ways to do it, but it'll work over time. So this will eventually heat up the water that's going through here enough that it'll hit the 20 degrees, and then it'll shut all this off, and it should regulate that temperature right where I want it to be. Because basically, since I have this set at 20 degrees, if this goes to 21 degrees, it'll close this door and pull some of that cold liquid through, well, the temperature from the cold liquid through this door, and bring it back down relatively quickly. So we'll see. We're going to let this go for a little while and do it. This down here, or replace real quick. I built it out of cobalt, not out of steel, so it overheated. Rookie mistake. It happens. So, I'll be back once I have that loop up to the 20 degrees I want it at, and we'll go from there. When I said there's a much better way to heat up the water in this pipe, this is what I meant. I am now bringing the pipe down here. It's picking up a bunch of heat from these natural gas generators. So it's coming in at 6.6 degrees. It's leaving at 9.3. And then it's coming back in, dropping back off into the tank. It's actually going down and going all the way down past the crops first. And then it's coming back up to the tank going through here. So this will heat this water back up much faster. Get it where it was. The other thing I wanted to show you is that this can be done. You can have a radiant liquid pipe going through this coolant, or a gas pipe, or you could do both. If you have like a liquid pipe and a gas pipe, you want to have it the same temperature. So this one I set to 23, and then the incoming gas to the base I have coming through there. It's going to be much cooler for the moment because this liquid I had heated or cooled down all the way to minus 25, but it's warming it back up because the gas that's coming in is at 40 degrees. So, but you can see how with the gas it's much more effective. Gas is coming in at 40 degrees, it's leaving at minus 4. And granted, it's doing that a little more than it normally would because it's sitting there because there's nowhere for this gas to go at the moment. But even just passing through there, it cools down much faster than a liquid does. So this is a really effective way to cool down gases. So if you have really hot gas that you want to cool down before it goes into your base, run it through one of these, you're set. So we're going to let this keep on going. We're up to 8 degrees now. We want to get to 20 so that it'll get these crops going. We may have to do some call in some reinforcements for some extra food to get us through till that temperature gets to where we need it to be. But that's okay. We got this whole area very chill because this whole asteroid is just one big ice block. So with the power generator running, it should heat that up pretty quick. And now we're coming in at 8 and we're leaving at 9. We're getting some heat. It's going to take a while to get it to 20, but just shows you how effective that cooling was. We got it down really fast. Getting it back up to where we wanted is harder. But once we have it at the temperature we want, regulating that temperature using the steel doors is a lot more effective than using the actual liquid pipes themselves. We're going to let it keep going like that. Like I said, I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to call in some quick reinforcements on our food so that we have some just to get through. We're up to 6.5 million calories over here now, so things are going great. Let's check in on things while we're here. I had to make another change to this while we were working. Last time it was... Well, now we have a problem with the liquid shut-off. Great. Okay, well, we'll look at that in a second. But the last time we had a problem with this, it was set at 75, and then the mixed waters made it so it was 1. So it stopped flowing, and then everything overheated. This time, it was this one, was set at 500, and then we had a blob that got stuck in there that was 485, and it wouldn't let any more water come in. So then this one went to 0, no more water came in, and it caused the aqua tuners to overheat. So what is that for? Oh, this shut-off mechanism was just to make it so that if the water that was coming through got too cold, it would heat back up using this. So let's quick go in here. I don't know why that... I don't know why that got overheated or damaged, but we'll just crack that open so they can repair it, and we'll let it go for a while. But so the idea with this mechanism is this detects the temperature in the pipe, and if it's below 34 degrees, then it'll pick up some heat off of the 85-degree temperatures in here. Because if this gets too cold in here, we want to heat it back up just a little bit, because we don't want it to affect the ability to boil the water. So it's kind of a balance game. So we were using the preheated water to warm this up. So yeah, right now it's not an issue. This temperature is 67 degrees, so it's too hot. It's trying to cool it off as best it can. But so basically, if these two aqua tuners cooled it down too far and the average temperature went below 34, we would just send a couple loops through to heat it back up. And it kept that nice balance. Oh, the temperature there stabilized because the water's still coming in. Once the water stops coming in, when this hits 800 kilograms, it'll start heating up very quickly. Yeah, there we go. So, it is working. It's just I set it for a higher amount of liquid so that we can process more at a time. And I forgot. So this is working great. Our Slickster farm is working pretty well. We're starting to chip away at the carbon dioxide. We started at 200K. So... Oh wow, we got that nice and cool. Almost too cool. I wonder if the Slicksters can even handle that cold. They're still happy. I don't know if they have a... Healthy duplicant's body temperature's 37, their body temperature's 87. Oh, so even with that cool, they're hot a second there. Okay. It's kind of surprising just how cool we've gotten that. And that cool is transferring up into here, helping cool this down. Base is still kind of warm, but I'm not so concerned about getting the temperatures in the base down to in the 20s because I don't have any crops. So this is all working great to keep temperatures good. Where's our petroleum? Even our petroleum's at a decent temperature. It's crazy. I guess it's nice when things work out the way you plan on them. I just expected to come back to see kind of a disaster on things, but I do know that we were having some issues with this overfilling, but that's fine. The gas pumps get flooded, so they can't pull the natural gas out, but I don't really need the natural gas, so it's not a big deal. We had kind of a funny issue. The power spine I have kept overloading, and I could not figure out the problem. It took me like half an hour to find out that one of these connections, instead of being made with heavy watt conductive wire, was just made with regular heavy watt wire. And when we spiked, our power spiked over 20 kilowatts. Anytime it did, it would overload the circuit. So I had to track that down. But it got all fixed. Our oxygen is running again because we got below 20 kilograms, so we're pumping water through there. I think we have plenty of water though to do it. This will keep producing us water. We're definitely processing the water faster than we're making water because this was up to here when I last checked on it. So we're probably going to want to increase our petroleum output because that's where we're getting water from primarily. We have some water coming from other sources, but it's all going through the boiler, which is kind of slow, but yeah, this is overheating. Oh, it's because it's made of gold. We'll make it out of steel, and that shouldn't be a problem. Because it's overheating at 128 degrees. Steel can go much, much higher. Fine. Would shut off. Steel. That should fix that problem. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump up the oil. Now that our petroleum is starting to run out, let's bump this up to max. And so at 10K we can run 5 generators, no problem. So automation, that's what I'm looking for. I think we're actually just gonna run them all. They'll automatically shut off if we run out of petroleum. So okay, we'll be good. Let's head back over to Gargani, check on our food. We have barbecue flowing through, so we're getting settled there. Alright, we got this up to 11 degrees. We're shooting for 20 because 10 is the minimum. That means that's going fine. I think that the next thing we want to do is to actually run this loop. So it goes down through here, here as well. So we'll do radiant pipes in the bottom, insulated pipes up top. I think how I want to do this. It's going to come through there. I can do a bridge. Jump it down like this. It's going to be tough there. I'll have to do a bridge like this. then a bridge like this. And another bridge. Spaghetti! Pipe spaghetti. Okay, so then we'll clip this wire. We'll do insulated pipe to connect this. That comes down to connect this, and then this one to connect to there. Let's set all that to priority 9. That actually may help us for a second, because that means this pipe will be sitting still. It'll heat this water up to a little higher. So they're getting that all built up. Good. So let's check this temperature out. We're up to 11 degrees. That's good. Like I said, we're aiming for 20, because then 20 is a good number for all of these. It's also, this one could go up to, if we bumped it up to 22, we'd be able to get these running too, which we probably will after we get this dialed in. We'll probably just use one cooling loop for all these crops and shoot for 22 degrees. Maybe 23 or 24, because that'll work for all of them. But we'll let that finish, and then we'll come back and see once this hits 20 degrees. Actually, just checking our time, and we're at 27 minutes. So I'm going to call it an episode for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this design. I'm going to tweak it some more. And like I said, if I can get this working consistently and well, I'm going to use this as a cooler on our main asteroid too during our next episode, or maybe a couple episodes down the road. But we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.